In another intriguing adventure transcribed from the private files of Rex Saunders.
Concerning jewelry, diamonds may be a girl's best friend, but like any other precious ornament, they can be done to death.
And now, the private files of Rex Saunders. RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in recorded music, and first in television, brings you the celebrated star of stage and screen, Rex Harrison, in another exciting story taken from the private files of Rex Saunders, radio's newest man of mystery. We hope you enjoy these weekly stories of intrigue and adventure. And for another adventure in home entertainment, we suggest you try RCA Victor's fine line of radio and television products, now on display at your RCA Victor dealer. Now for our story.
It was a grey, misty morning when the tugs nosed the mammoth hulk of the transatlantic liner Trigania into its North River berth. Alec and I were on the pier, standing near the guardrail, watching the Trigania's passengers coming ashore. As they walked down the gangplank, I looked them over carefully, wondering which one was Allison.
It's uncanny how we get ourselves in these strange situations.
The strange situation Alec referred to was prompted by a radiogram which I received that morning at the rude hour of 5. It was sent from aboard the Trigania and said simply, "Important you be at pier when Trigania docks. Need your help. Don't fail." And it was signed Allison.
But who is Allison?
I told Alec that I really hadn't the faintest idea. So there we stood, watching the passengers debark, when suddenly I felt a gentle tap on my shoulder.
Mr. Saunders.
I turned round. She was slim, brunette, and she was quite attractive. 2 small valises were resting at her feet.
You are Rex Saunders, aren't you?
Yes?
I'm Allison.
Oh.
I imagined that Allison was a man.
So did I, Alec. But I can hardly say that I'm disappointed.
Vivian Allison.
Well, about that radiogram you sent me, it had an urgent tone.
Well, it's rather an urgent matter. Here, look at this, Mr. Saunders. This bandage on my arm. It covers a wound, bullet graze. I was shot at last night on deck.
By whom?
I don't know who he is. He's followed me about the ship ever since we left Liverpool. He goes under the name of Charles Strickland. But he's only one of them. There are others. They want to kill me.
And just why do they want to kill you?
They're after this valise. This brown one here.
Oh? What's in it?
Diamonds. Diamonds valued at $200,000. They're from the South African mines. I'm a courier for the Kent Diamond Syndicate. I'm delivering them to the New York client, Robert Johnson and Sons.
Well, now you're safely in New York.
Oh, no. I won't be safe until the diamonds are delivered. Till they're out of my possession.
That's rather a tight fix you're in.
You will help me.
Well, it's the least I can do for someone from home.
I'm very grateful, Mr. Saunders.
Just what do you plan to do, Rex?
Well, from what Miss Allison has told us, Alec, it's apparent that her life is only in danger just as long as she has the diamonds in her possession. Well, she's going to hand that bag to me now, right here in plain view.
But, Mr. Saunders, where will we meet again?
I'll follow you outside the pier. You take a taxi to Johnson and Sons. What street are they on?
59, 842 West.
Very well. Now, you have your cab driver take you there, and I'll hop into another taxi and follow directly after you. Alec?
Yes?
I want you to go aboard the Trigania and find out what you can about Charles Strickland.
Right.
Now, Miss Allison, you may hand me that bag.
Here you are.
Now, you go ahead, Miss Allison.
As you say. I'll wait for you at Johnson and Sons.
Alec, forget what I told you about looking for information on Charles Strickland.
Huh? Forget? But why?
Because there probably isn't any Charles Strickland.
What?
But you go aboard the Dragania as planned while I trail the young lady.
Yeah, but about Charles Strickland, you mean Miss Allison was lying to us?
Precisely. I want you to find out what happened to the real Allison.
The real Allison?
Yes. While you were waiting for me here, I stopped in at the administration office and checked on the Dragania's passenger list. There was only one Allison on that list, Alec. A Mr. Stephen Allison. With the brown bag in hand, I followed the attractive brunette along the crowded pier. It was obvious that her real name was not likely to be Allison, but there was nothing obvious about the game she was playing. I waited outside the pier until she got into a taxi, and then I hailed the next cab in line.
Where to, mister?
That taxi ahead, please. Follow it when it pulls out.
Okay.
Move over, chum. This cab's taken.
Hey, look, buddy, this gent flagged me first.
Shut your trap. Get this heap moving.
Hey, a rod. He's got a rod, mister.
Yeah.
Shove off like I told you.
Yeah, but look here.
You'd better do as he says, driver.
Hey, you're a smart boy.
Thanks for the compliment.
It ain't no compliment. It's a warning.
Oh?
Don't get over smart. You're liable to end up with your face in a ditch.
I take it you're referring to my encounter with Miss Allison.
Don't give me that Miss Allison business. Where do you tie in with the dame?
I haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about.
You know, playing too dumb can be worse than giving it to me too smart. Give me the bag.
The what?
The bag. The one you're trying to hide behind you.
Oh, this. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know what you meant.
Not much you didn't. All right, driver, pull up. Get out, smart talker. Go on, get out. And remember what I told you. Stay out of this game or the next time you get tagged for a slab in the morgue.
I not only lost the bogus Miss Allison, but also the valuable little brown bag. I headed back to the pier to pick up Alec.
Who do you suppose he was?
I don't know, but I won't forget his face quickly.
Well, anyway, we're sure he was one of the gang after the diamonds. And now they have what they were after.
I wouldn't be too sure of that.
What do you mean? He got the bag from you, didn't he?
Yes, Alec, he got the bag all right. However, I managed to open it before I hopped into that cab.
Hey, that was quick thinking on your part. You opened the valise, removed the diamonds, and then hid them on yourself. And our ugly friend was left holding the bag.
I wouldn't laugh, Alec.
Why not?
Well, the joke happens to be on us.
Huh?
And it was played by the deceptive young lady. When I opened the bag, it was empty.
Empty?
There's a punctured water bucket.
Oh.
The would-be Miss Allison used us as a feint, Alec. Remind me never to trust a handsome woman again, will you?
As if you'll listen.
What did you find out about Stephen Allison?
Well, the deck steward told me that Allison was a man of medium height, about 40, somewhat baldish. He was sick during the voyage, and he remained in his stateroom throughout the entire trip. His door was constantly locked.
Anything else?
Yes, I was just getting to this. A very interesting piece of information. Allison had a frequent visitor, a young lady.
Who I imagine fits the description of our brunette friend.
Mm-hmm. Sears. Vivian Sears.
Vivian? Well, Miss Sears at least told us the truth about her first name. Come along, Alec.
Where to now?
That phone booth just over there.
Who are you calling?
Police headquarters. Inspector Kelly is checking a matter for me. Inspector Kelly, please. Hello, Inspector? Inspector? Rex Saunders. Oh, you have? Fine. 627 East 20th Street. Thank you very much. Yes, I'll call back later on the other tracer.
627 East 20th Street. What's at that address?
Perhaps $200,000 worth of diamonds.
What?
I made a note of the license plate number on that cab that the mysterious Miss Sears took when she left here. A police radio car located that taxi a few moments ago. According to the driver's trip schedule, Miss Sears went from the pier directly to the house on 20th Street. The house on 20th Street was a dilapidated brownstone which had been converted into a rooming house. The landlady recalled that an hour before our arrival, a young woman fitting Miss Sears' description had entered the house.
I wonder whose room she went into.
Well, the landlady said it was rented 6 months ago by a man named Vincent. But she'd only seen Vincent twice, and that a special lock was put on the door. that room at the end of the hall there.
I have a feeling that we're walking headlong into some more trouble.
Well, this door isn't locked.
Might be a trap.
No one's in here.
Well, look, on the table here. It's valise. It was like the one Miss Sears gave you.
Yes, the mate, the one she kept. There's nothing in it.
And here we are, left holding an empty bag again. Now, how will we ever find her or the diamonds? She certainly won't return here.
Alec, I was wrong.
Huh?
There was someone in this room.
What are you talking about?
This body behind the couch.
Oh.
Here, help me turn him over on his back.
Yeah. Who can he be?
This photo in the passport I found in his pocket, look.
Yes. It's him, all right. What's it say his name is?
This passport identifies him as Stephen Allison.
Here's a formula for fine listening. AM radio plus FM radio plus 2 separate record changers equal RCA Victor's magnificent new Victrola radio phonograph console. Imagine AM and FM radio with a newly extended tone range, a record changer for 78 and long play records, and for RCA Victor's amazing 7-inch non-breakable records, a second record changer, the 45. 2 record changers for all 3 speeds of recorded music. And in an RCA Victor Victrola radio phonograph, both recorded music and radio share the same brilliant RCA Victor Golden Throat tone system, a tone system that brings you concert hall clarity, fine fidelity always. And all this is wrapped up in a console cabinet whose beautiful styling and careful craftsmanship reflect RCA Victor's incomparable standards of quality. Next chance you get, see RCA Victor's wonderful selection of Victrola radio phonograph consoles.
I phoned headquarters. The homicide crew, with all its equipment, came to the murder room on 20th Street and began its usual relentless and scientific search for clues and leads in the shooting of Stephen Allison. After I completed my report to the detective lieutenant in charge, I left the brownstone house and walked across the street where Alec waited for me in the car.
I called Inspector Kelly, as you asked.
Did the report come in?
Yes, the driver of the cab you were in went directly to the police with his story.
What did he say?
Well, the mug who manhandled you forced the cab driver to take him up the West Side Drive to 125th Street, then across town to Lexington Avenue. Then he got out and disappeared in the Lexington Avenue subway.
All right, Alec, we'll get the car started.
So? Where to?
59th Street, the west side of town.
Was, anything of special interest found in the murder room?
Yes, several things, but so far, nothing conclusive. There were some cigarette butts in an ashtray. Homicide checked with a pack, which was in Allison's pocket, and they were a different brand.
Well, evidently those cigarettes in the tray were smoked by Miss Sears.
From the evidence, they weren't.
I don't follow you, Ray.
Well, there was no lip rouge traces on the cigarettes. And here's something else. An empty book of matches was found in an ashtray. It advertised a roadhouse in Baybrook out on Long Island, a place called Holly Inn. In view of the fact that both Allison and Miss Sears both just arrived in the country this morning, it's unlikely that the matchbook was carried by either of them.
I'm really confused.
So am I.
You? What about?
Well, something else homicide uncovered. They found a great number of particles under Allison's fingernails. They haven't tested them yet, but they're quite sure that the particles are metal filings, most likely copper. I'll get a report on that later.
But why would metal filings be under Allison's nails? He was a diamond courier.
I'm not sure just what Allison was. On the way uptown, I'm stopping off to send a cable to Scotland Yard and then paying a call on Johnson & Sons to see what they can tell me about Stephen Allison.
Mr. Johnson will see you now, Mr. Saunders.
Thank you, Miss Gaines.
Oh, you know my name.
Well, the receptionist outside mentioned it, and I always make a point of remembering certain names.
For professional reasons.
Well, you know what they say about all work and no play. By the way, mind if I borrow your matches for a light?
Not at all. Yes.
Thank you.